Welcome back to Project Fury, our ongoing pitch battle to repair and restore our beloved 1969 Fairline Fury to better than factory condition, and having worked the rear bulkhead, we're now moving on and looking at other areas of the boat. Hello folks, welcome back. It's been a little bit of a while, do apologise, but we're back again now. We did come here last weekend and I forgot to bring the cameras. Mortal sin, I know, I do apologise. And what we did was we made this plain ply door. Now there are obviously some more things that need doing. It's just raw at the moment, but it will be coated and protected with glass and gel coat. But we also need to cut some off of here to widen the gap and fabricate a frame. We're not going to start on the door straight away because I want to be able to get the freshwater tank back inside before we do the frame in case we run out of room. The first job is to finally resin and tab down the sole in the forward cabin, which will naturally involve getting everything out of the forward cabin, then bring the freshwater tank in, get it in a rough position, and then start making the frame. I would be amazed if we get anywhere near completing all of that in one day. So let's get on. As you can see, there's a fair amount of flotsam and jetsam in the forward cabin, so I'm going to spend a few minutes getting shot of all this junk. And then we'll crack on with getting the sole resined and tabbed in place. Okay, the forward cabin is now clear, and I've taken the sole up. This is the underside. I've just given it a bit of a clean off. I will just go over and wipe it over with acetone, and I'll mix up some white gel coat without wax because it's going underneath, so I don't care if it's tacky or not. And while that's setting up, I'll be hoovering and vacuuming and acetoning the inside of the hull in the forward cabin. Let's get the chuff on with it. So there's a good coat of gel coat on this panel for the forward cabin sole. So the next thing to do while that's setting up is to go in and give it a good clean up in there, ready for the installation and the tabbing. So I put a good 12mm of mech for 400mm of gel coat, so that should set up quite quickly. Couldn't quite fry an egg on it, but it should set up quite quickly. So making good progress so far today, so let's crack on. So that's the forward cabin sole finally put into place, thank goodness. It's taken far too long, as jobs around here always do. Really happy with it. It's nice and solid, it's nice and level relative to the rest of the boat, of course. It's not too springy. There's a couple of bits are going to need work later on, such as when I finally remove this bulkhead and replace it with the Nidoplast panels, which is on the list for some point in the not too distant future. So there we go. That's the freshwater tank back in position. That was a hell of a job, but I can't tell you how wonderful it is to be able to come into the forward section of my boat and just sit down for a minute. That's lovely. And I can get some scrap ply over the top of this to protect it and start shifting cans and tubs and various other bits and bobs so they're out of the way, so I can get the power tools into the saloon. So let's crack on with that now. Oh, so through the miracle of stupidity and brute force, we now have everything arranged in the forward cabin. Say no more. But in the saloon here, we have a reasonable working space with a mitre saw and a router table down there. And somebody came and helped me to do this. Oh, min fru! Hi, hi! Lovely. So although I didn't get anything to do with the door done, we are at least in a position where we can reasonably do some work with some wonderful power tools. And I know what I need to do, and it's just a matter of getting hold of a few little bits of wood, a lot of routing, and a bit of cutting to enlarge the door frame just a tinchy bit. But it's been a really satisfying day. It feels like we've actually made progress, which is wonderful stuff. So we will be back as soon as is Dalekly possible to carry on having a whole load of fun smacking the boat around until it behaves itself.